In doing survival and homesteading and playing in the woods for close to like 20 years now, and professionally for like 14, there's two things that survival boils down to for me. And the first is awareness. Everything comes back to awareness of ourselves, awareness of nature. And really, awareness is like using our senses to interface with the outside world. There's lots of people that said, like, the outside is the inside, just in a different like sphere, right? And everything that goes on outside in like the physical world is really just represented like of something on the inside. And tapping in to that flow, that awareness, that being one with nature is really what is really one of the things that survival is all about for me. I'm amazed when people come to survival classes and are out here on the farm how much people miss, whether it's like the sounds of birds or like the movements of deer or just resources that are given up and not used to their highest and fullest ability. Being able to capitalize on that is really just being in touch with yourself and being aware. One of my mentor's sacred questions is, what happened here and what is it teaching me? When we look at the universe and go in with this like questioning mindset, trying to figure out the inner workings of everything, you will be really amazed with what you can unlock and what you can figure out on your own. When people ask me questions, there's two answers, right? There's it depends and dirt time. And it depends is really what I look for in knowing if someone is a good teacher or not. But there's so many nuances that if just someone gives me a cut and dry answer, it's not what I'm looking for. Give me the nuances of that. Like, for example, like how long should chickens stay on the ground, or what is good to plant. Uh, it depends. It depends on like let's take the second question. What's good to plant? It depends on what you eat. It depends on what your climate is. It depends on how much rain you're going to get. It depends on what the market will bear. What people in your area want. It depends on a lot of things. It's not just like, can we grow plants? Because we can, but like, what should we grow? How much of it? It really has this like nuanced answer. And so when I speak with other survivalists and they don't quite share that like all the nuances, that's really a red flag to me. But all of that comes from awareness and being to like tap in and collect all the information. Why does the hawk fly high? Why does it ride the so a storm's coming in? Why are there hawks on that front? That front line, right? Or the change of the pressure or the wind. From like the how is water collecting, how is water moving on the landscape. All of this is really just knowing and that deep awareness and being able to see what goes on the landscape, calming your mind long enough to understand and read a landscape. Awareness is so key. um, when I think about awareness specifically in a survival situation, one of the easiest ways for me to tune into that is trapping and tracking, right? So if tracking is looking at the sign, like the spoor or like the footprints of the track. So if it's broken twigs or like pushed down grasses or like pushed aside, or we're looking at like the physical pressure release or soil dynamics, depending on who your teacher is, of the how the track or how the animal interfaces with the landscape. This can like really tune in our awareness, and in trapping, awareness is super important. We don't, if we're aiming for to trap a raccoon or something, we don't want to be putting traps on the deer trail. And we should talk about animal highways in another video. But like putting your trap, if there's like a den there, or we see a log going over a creek, that is traveled by like possums or raccoons or even cats, foxes, to get to the other side. That might be a good place to put a snare. Uh, Coming on and off might be a good way to put like a figure four if you could bait it with what you knew that animal was going to like. All of this comes back to awareness and the efficiency. How and even when we're like going through life and dealing with people and partners and business relationships, whatever it is, it's like understanding how does this make me feel, and that ties into like following your passion. But like if you don't enjoy something, don't continue down that path. Like stop and reevaluate and go into the next thing. This is awareness, and this is how we can increase our skills and just efficiency. And that leads me into the second point of this talk. Survival and outdoor skills boils down to awareness and organization, right? Organization is our efficiency of movement. We've talked about calories out, calories in, calories in, calories out. The acronym is CECO, but if you start with calories out, calories in, it's not the same. But you're hearing like dating, you hear in dieting that, calories in, calories out. We want our movements to be super efficient, and no wasted space, no wasted movement, because ultimately that ends up detracting from our abilities to survive. Some of my survival coaches have said survival is a fat man's game, and if you're doing things right, you're not really putting out a lot of energy. You're just existing and flowing in the state. So it comes to organization, and the biggest organization to me is like how we start a fire. And we talk about this in our survival essentials manual. But after the tinder bundle, like the hair, the finest material that we're going to process to take a coal, if we're talking friction fire, or even like ferro rods or whatever, flint and steel, we have like our hair, and then we build that TP and that organization so that we use what we've taken from our awareness and how like heat rises, and so that we're doing less work. So we always want to build a TP structure. This is what we teach in our classes, though there's many other types of fire structures. But we use what we've learned from our awareness, add the organization to it, and we start with hairs, the finest material. If we take that awareness and look at a branch, there's a large trunk, and then it comes out from there. We have like okay sized branches, thumb sized branches, and off of that, just like our hand, or we have the trunk branching out. So we have finger size or thumb sized, finger sized, pencil sized, pencil lead size. If y'all can see that, pencil lead size. And but basically, like, and not hard and fast, but that's just a general rule. Is these the if you look at the tree grows out this way. When we build the fire, we're reverse engineering that to give us like embers, So we want to organize that fire structure. Like that for me is like the most glaring example of organization in survival. But also, like, Dave Canterbury talks about the possum mentality. We've talked about it before. Whenever you come across a resource, putting it into your pocket, and so that you can use it later, that like next fire, or next several fires. But the organization of knowing what you're going to need to use and collecting it, that comes from awareness. But that increases your efficiency, those calories in, calories out. But the organization is also like tool preservation. We talked about all the skills that you need to learn before you attempt a bow drill. Tool preservation in a real like survival situation, keeping that edge sharp for a long period of time on your knife, might be the difference between like life and death. The more traps that you carve, the more, like, if you're processing bone for fish hooks or arrowheads or something, you're really dulling that knife, and you might need that knife edge. Sure, we can sharpen it on the stone, but calories out, calories in. The organization of how we use our tools in a smart way that lets us prolong the survival situation. That's really what it really comes down to. So the two things for me that survival comes down to is awareness and organization. There's so many more examples, but that's just a little bit that we're talking about here. I really wanted to share those points with you because they are like so critical to being efficient in the woods, is being aware and in touch with your surroundings, and then organizing the way that you do things so that you're not wasting a whole lot of energy. Let me mention this other one. So we talk about trap lines a lot. You make traps at different areas, like we talked to, but then also like planning your day around that. So you're doing, and it doesn't have to be trap lines. It could be water lines. If you have like multiple sip wells or vines that you've cut, or a couple different water purification methods, so that you, like, in the morning you check your traps, at the same time you're collecting all the resources that you want, so that you can sit out of the sun during the heat of the day, and then as dusk comes, check those trap lines again. All of that is organization, and then making sure that your fire isn't burning out while you're gone, so you don't have to do another bow drill. That's all organization. So that's just a couple of examples that I hope that you take to heart, hope that you incorporate into your survival game to ultimately make you more efficient in living with the land, so that you can go and do more stuff, so that we can positively affect the world around us. It's impossible to go out and positively affect change without knowing what binds us together. And for us, that's connection to the natural world. So thanks for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I know you're passionate about life and are serious about surviving whatever the universe throws at you. Drop us a like. Make sure that you subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you want more information, visit us at sustainablehomestead.com. We're a nonprofit committed to bringing people back to the earth through primitive skills and permaculture design. As always, preparation today means peace of mind tomorrow. So I'll see you in the future, and stay ready.